All right. Watching another feed. This feller's name is Max. And we'll start at the bottom. That worked well yesterday. So, and I like this. I'm excited to get up here. This looks like a pretty cool moment. So I'm curious to see that one. All right. Let's just jump. All right. Okay. Let's watch again. This is familiar. This is good. So now we're going to spin off of the thumb. Does that go all the way? Yep. All right. It gets around. Um, this is nice. One-handed cuts are more difficult to criticize for sure, just given what they are. You know, um, what I mean is like they're difficult to make, they're difficult to do. So it might sound unnecessary to criticize. Like this is done well. You know, there's nothing really wrong with it. What I would point out though is that here at the end, we get kind of mushed, and it feels like the packets want to just go together right here. Like just with how close this gets. I understand the fingers back here, you know, gonna keep separation, but just visually from this angle, anyhow. Well, from any angle, this is gonna look like it just didn't land clean. Um, so I wonder if we can't redesign this so that we don't have to go into this Charlie. Everybody loves Charlie, but and I don't know how that would happen right away without holding it. I don't know, but I'd say here we get a little bit muddled, but that's all right. It's clean. I think this is going to be a good one. Yeah, sure. Let's watch again. Okay. Yeah, two things in here that I like that are smart packet cutter things. The first one is the way the hands pass each other. So this right hand is coming up, and it's going to slide into this edge of this packet back here, and you can see that this hand is going to push forward to help that get there. So even though this ended up on this back edge, it didn't end up back here because the right hand pushed forward, and that gives a nice extra motion. And then this decision, this is cool. So you're in rev, but it's face up, so instincts are going to change, going to try to do something different. And we're going to push into a kind of a Z-ish thing here. Okay, let me watch that again. Pass each other down. I like that. I don't know that I have too much to say about that. I'll take that. I'm thinking, I'm thinking. So I think that closer works well. I think it works well, but I wonder if we couldn't find something that utilizes the short edge like we're using here. The main action is happening on the short end, right? And I wonder if, and again, I'm not saying go back and change anything, if I had been making this, for the closer, I would have been looking to find a relationship with this short edge again, and instead everything's gonna kind of coalesce along these long ends. But I totally acceptable. Timing's good. Performance is good. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Honestly, I didn't even watch. I was thinking. Let me go back. Yeah, this kind of does the creepy crawly thing that I talk about all the time, where like it's there's not we don't really get a broad theme established about like where the energy and flow of the move is moving. Instead, it's just like one packet moving at a time. And you're finding relationships between the packets, but here we only had one motion here, a little readjustment back here, but really all the audience's eyes are going to notice is that this packet slid up. And then that's a little moment where nothing changes, but we still get that little float. And then all that happened just to get this packet out back here. Yeah. So I'm looking at this moment right here. Yeah, just say that this move just doesn't have much energy. Just kind of goes, one slide, readjustment all the way to get to that. It's not really its own moment. I am interested in this pinching this packet back here. I in packet cuts I do enjoy getting to this kind of motion. In my mind, what the next thing was going to be was that these two as a unit would fold forward, but instead it just stays there with this one coming to it. I wonder if the left hand couldn't articulate some forward motion there. Well, yeah, you couldn't if you're going to keep that closer, right? But that's okay. This move's all right. It's okay. It's okay, but the fact that it doesn't because it doesn't have very much energy and that it doesn't establish a very broad theme is easily forgotten. If you watch this a bunch of times, even if you had a lot of experience holding cards, it would be very difficult to try to remember any of this and to recreate any of those moments because you don't really get a distinct action. What's this? And how cool are they, dude? Anyone? The Danes, bro. Don't you wish you were a Dane? My turn. What a goofball. Beautiful. Oh, wow. That was cool. I've never seen that. I wonder who that was. Get out of here, dude. Yes, yes. Let's watch it again with the audio.
Dope shit like that, Germ. Oh, hi. Welcome back to Kids.
Just by the way, when you punch holes in cards, they lose all their integrity and they're not fun to play with. Just a little comment in there.
Follow your dreams. Yeah.
Beautiful move.
Wanna get a mansion, a jacuzzi, a theater to watch
I want to see
my
the
movies,
fans.
couple whips and lots of fancy things. The kids they call it Goonies. See the future, crystal ball, mirror,
Yes.
mirror hanging on the wall.
Look how great that is. And then we're gonna close
White
it.
boy of the mall, got your girlfriend screening all the calls. She bubbling, we fucking and you cut.
That's a cool idea. I wonder who that was. If you know who that was, let me know who that was. All right, so what do I want to say about this? So this motion right, this all the way to that, very cool. Coming to here, it's interesting, you know, just because it's going to finish down on the thumb. That's kind of interesting. I'll say this, and I'll probably mention this in a bunch of moves in the future. But the Tada hand thing, I can't support it. I can't support the Tada hands. This thing, all that, like, it doesn't help. All of the motion should be in the packets. And if your hands do any type of flourish themselves at some point, you really got to be careful about it. You got to work it in well. But all right, cool opener, cool clip, wedge deep into the crotch of the index finger. Yeah, you see how, like, we chose to do this thing, this Tada moment, and that forces the audience to have to watch you just turn the deck back over at the end. And I think that's just kind of wasted motion, wasted energy. Like, when this, instead of doing this, can this just be set down? Can all that just be one motion? Like, like if this hand just came instantly here instead of like trying to create an extra moment there, I think I'd like this more. The reason I'm a stickler about packet cuts ending face down and not resolving face up and then being put down, like having to turn it over, because like when this gets turned over, it's really not a part of the cut. Like, that's not a part of the cut, right? The cut finished up here thematically, and now we have to resolve it. And the reason you do that is because the function of a deck of cards is to be face down. So even if you try to finish a move in like anywhere other than dealer's grip, after you're done with the move, the very next thing you're going to do is turn it over face down and hold it properly. So I think the strongest resolution and the most satisfaction comes from it being resolved back to its function, back to face down in dealer's grip, more or less. And here we have to watch it turn back over. So like the real resolution of the move isn't connected to any of this. So maybe there's another way to get this face down again that doesn't require a separate action. what was Patrick's move called? That's obviously a lot of that's taken from Patch's. What did he call it? I forget. I forget right now what he called that move, but getting like this kind of relationship, like dealing with these packets and picking them up as units. Let's watch again. We'll watch it again. Yeah. So I'd say that I like all of that. The closer, which is where most of my commentary is going to end up being, like, and that's because the closer is so important. And there's two actions at the end that go in the exact same direction, that repeat, like boom, boom. So this is plenty interesting. This is good. Float by Pat's thing. And then those last two moments come down the same direction. So this one goes there, and then this one's going to also go there. I think this would be an instance where something interesting can happen with this 6. Maybe it comes and it goes over to a Charlie or something, but the last two moments being so close together and one after the other, I think something more visual could happen. But I liked all that, and I love those cards, by the way. Shout out Danes. And I like the riffle. The riffle opener's cool. A little bit of Pat's thing. And then, you know. So that one's alright. There's very cool stuff in there, but it's alright. Never mind. Okay. Everything up to here is good. I love that. From this angle, that's a big surprise that this comes up there and that it's perpendicular to this one. So that's interesting. Nice little extension, might as well, sure. Use that to flick that. That's cool. Catch it clean. We don't get a bunch of smearing or anything. We give the pause because that's a big moment. So it's like you really let that register. Curl the pointer finger to pull this up to establish a kind of a triangle here. But we don't get stuck there. We move past it. That's good. And like even this, even going like this, for me, I could do without it. I think that kind of last second adjustment to get to somewhere where you feel resolved, I don't really care for those. I mean, there's creamers and slimers or whatever, you know, like rubbing your, you know, doing this, you know, this kind of thing. That can be okay. It's kind of tasteful, but for me, I just want it to resolve face down. Or not just face down, like I want it to resolve. I want the move to feel like it's over the moment that the packets stop moving. When there's no more packets and nothing's moving, and then you have to put it into dealers, it doesn't make it ugly or anything. It's a nice move, but just things I'm thinking about. Just things I'm thinking about as I'm going through these feeds, you know. I'm gonna get better at uh, analyzing and articulating what I'm thinking or whatever. So if you hear me repeating myself, like I'm giving the same criticism for every move, or I'm giving and like for you and for like everybody else and stuff. There's just things in cardistry that are commonplace that I don't like. So I'm probably gonna find them in most people's material. Get a tutorial. Let's see what this is about.
Grip this with our index finger. And then we're going.
Let's go back and hear it.
So to start, we're going to riff.
Let's go back and hear it. Sorry.
So to start off with trinket, we're going to riffle off.
Should we do it?
Grip this with our index finger. And then we're going to riffle off one more third and grip it.
Oh, this is our move. This is that move Pat's thing.
Then what we're going to do is bring these two packets up, like that. Connect our thumb to the end of this packet.
Sure.
And then we're going to do two motions at once. So we're going to bring this 6 of clubs
Can't really see
back
anything.
down. And we're also going to revolve this 9 of hearts around our thumb. Like so. And we're going to come in and pinch it at the end.
Oh, well, I'll go back and relearn Pat's, I think. I won't spend time doing that right now. But I will do that in the future. If there's a move that you think you want to watch me try to learn or something, let me know. Maybe that's something I could do. And go through a tutorial or something. All right. So we're kind of floating at this beginning thing. We're kind of doing this to try to sell the fact that there's motion when there's really not much. I say take the motion that the mechanics provide and don't try to kind of trick the viewer that something more is going on than there is. But some excellence comes after this. This rat right there, very cool. Spinning this packet with the pinky and thumb at the same time that this one against the back of the hand gets spun, that's cool. And then this is done well right there. That transfer is very smooth, and it really arrives back here in this Charlie. It really gets there mechanically. That looks nice. That's cool. Pulling this over the side, I bet that feels good. And then a little spin. So we're like we're keeping that theme. That's nice. Let's watch it again. Here we're kind of, but you're going slow. What is nice, I don't like the floating, but I do like that you're taking your time to set this up. That you're like, there's not, because this part is probably easier than the rest of the move, and sometimes you'll see people rush through the easy parts and then struggle on the hard parts. And something that he's doing here that you should try to do too in your material is just take whatever the slowest part of your move is, try to do that same speed for the rest of the cut. And get repetition doing that, because then as a unit you'll gain speed. But here that's nice to kind of take your time. Another spin on the back. I didn't notice that the first time around. We get a second spin on the back of the hand. That's cool. And then that's great, pulling off the back of the hand and getting it up here. Very cool. And then another spin to go down, sure. And you know what I think about that. All right. This is good stuff. There we go. Great move. Great move. Let's watch that again. Smooth. Well paced. Maintained the 4 for a long time. I love that didn't become 2 at the end. You stay, you only resolve one packet instead of trying to be done. All that looks great. Very cool. This coming up like that is awesome on the then. Putting this one here and not also trying to do anything in the back, I think is good. because this could have probably collapsed onto here and then had the next moment be resolving 2 packets. But we keep the energy alive, we keep the theme going, and then we get rid of everything. I enjoyed this one. Let's watch again. Yeah, man. Yeah, theme wise, what I think you do well is that this right hand or this left hand comes up in pronounce, comes up high. And then we get another, this right hand again coming up. So there's this is kind of happening in the move. And that's nice, having kind of like this rocking motion. So by the time we get here, it really feels like this belongs here. We've seen the hand here. Now, in the first instance, it was over here. But, so maybe I would say, I wonder if that can't, like, we can't nail this in the same spot as the first instance. But I like this. Let's watch again. Yeah. Keep it alive. Come back down. Cool, man. That's tight. We don't need the turning over thing, you know. But I'm going to mention that every time for like every cardist because everybody does that. And I just don't like it. But that's a good move. That's probably my favorite move for sure so far. That's interesting. So we get, for an interlocked move, we are getting some good action in there. This first spin on the corners. So we get locked up, peel this one out. This right there, that's cool. That's all right. I think that looks good. Oh, it wasn't on the corners. All right, this edge spin. That looks good. And then from like here, for the next couple of seconds, nothing's really happening. Like, I know things are being set up, but it feels like we're setting up for something rather than still driving forward. Get another, utilize that same kind of spin, edge to edge spin again. And I do like this. That slipping through this slot, very cool, very surprising. You're still locked up. Here we go. So that's all right. All that's great. That's okay, you know. Do you see what I'm saying about there's a moment where everything's kind of just about setting up the next thing? All of this, all the way to here, all the way to there, feels connected. And then this next little bit, we're going to have to readjust our hands to try to like get into a new position. All this. Nothing really happens in that part. Like, I know we're locked back here, but visually it doesn't really register that we're still driving forward on the same, with the same flow. And it kind of, you know, there's this little like up down that happens. Don't think we need that, but you might mechanically you might need it, but visually I don't think that part works. And from here it looks great again. I love that coming through there. Boom, boom. I'll avoid talking about resolving cuts face down since I've already drilled that point. Shout out Patch again. Lap dance, right? That Patrick called his move lap dance. This is kind of doing a very similar thing with 2 packets. I like that. That's cool. These moves that can be done on the leg Patrick used to do his move was called lap dance, but he could do it just on your hand. So like you can like walk, you can ask someone just to hold their hand out flat and then do it on their palm, and it feels cool for them, you know, because they can feel it. They feel connected to it. Yeah. Totally cool. Am I being too quiet? I'd say from here to there, and it might be the angle, right? It might be because we're kind of looking directly from like the height of the cut, but we don't really see much happen. All we can see is this one being reclipped back here, and that's a cool. I like getting back to this clip. Theme wise, it's nice that so we eventually get to this very tall moment, and then here, it's not quite tall, but like this. Let me go back. This so it gets tall, and when it's at its height, we're seeing the back of a packet. And then when this one comes up, I missed it again. When that second one comes up, it also goes to the back. So, boom, back design. And right here we get the back design in that same spot again. That's good. The theme of that is cool. Hey, look! We finished face down, and it's awesome. Let's watch again. Yeah, that's a cool move. I decided to do this feed because of this thumbnail, so I'm excited to see what this move's all about. It looks huge. Hmm. Hey. Okay. Closer leaves a little left to be wanted, but this is awesome. I love that. I love this coming through here, and then again with that theme of it being in the crotch of the fingers. So you get multiple of those. This riffle looks really nice and controlled. We're not losing control of the cards that we're letting go of. Love this flop into there. That looks awesome. And we drop this down onto this clip. And reach around and grab this one. Okay. And then from here, I think after that moment, we kind of resort back to just classic packet cutting, or just a familiar place. You know, this just goes into a slot, and we're here, and then it just drops into a Charlie or whatever. And like this doesn't really connect itself energetically or thematically with the rest of the move. It's clean, the timing is good, but I think this packet, because there's a packet face up, right? This is awesome. That's those two together. That riffle's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And then here, like we're just like, because we're in the clip, it just looks a little it's bulky, not quite the right word. It's just not that attractive of a grip to, because this just comes down and just this gets placed here, and then released here. I think we got to find a way to come out of that clip soon. So like all that's so good. That's so interesting. So for sure. See, hey, this is why we start at the bottom of the feed, right? And we climb. All right. So, can we give Max the follow? Well, yes, of course, because this material is good. This last thing is awesome. Overalls are always cool.